Hey everybody, Garrett Baldwin here. Hope you're having a good day. 132 SPY bouncing around the volume weighted average price right now as we speak. And who better to speak to that than Kenny Glick? How you doing, Kenny?
My bullhorn's not working. What's up?
We're trading the Fed. I'm wearing white. You're wearing red. I don't think we have any blue around here. Oh, wait. You got this child-sized Bills jersey that I can hang on here. Here we go. So we're good.
I got some new blue stuff. Check this out. I got the Jaws arriving in Amity action figure today. Whoa. Look at that bad boy. That's real cloth. Fancy.
All right, Kenny, we're going to talk about a bunch of stuff that you don't care about typically, right? We're going to talk about the Fed, what they're doing, but typically you're just watching what's going on with VWAP. But look, just to give everybody an understanding background of what's going on. Federal Reserve is the central bank of the United States. The Fed has more economic power than anyone who is up for election this year, more economic power than the president. The Fed, since 2008, since it began its policies of pumping capital in the market through its open market operations and low interest rates, has spurred economic activity and also spurred a lot of asset speculation over the last 13 years, culminating in the $5 trillion that it dropped out of the sky during the COVID crisis. That led to a massive asset rally. It also made Cathie Wood the stock picker of the year 2 years ago. Not pulling it off right now this year. But the Fed, by raising interest rates, aims to slow down its economic activity. It is trying to put the brakes on this inflation, 8.3% in the latest CPI. PPI is still elevated. And now as we look into this 2 o'clock meeting, we're looking for a couple key things. One, will the Fed go to 75 basis points, which would take us to 3%, the highest interest rates have been since 2008? Or will we go up 100 basis points with the Fed trying to make a statement, as Powell has been trying to do since Jackson Hole, that the United States Federal Reserve is going to move rates higher. It is going to fight inflation, and no one can say that everything is priced in. So we're going to see the live reaction of the Fed statement at 2:30. We're also going to get that number at 2 o'clock today. 75 basis points to 3% or 3.25 100-point hike. Kenny, what do you think?
Well, I just saw somebody wrote by, I'd like 100 basis points and chaos. I think you might get one of those things. I think they might. I think I'm prepared to be surprised. And again, the surprise to me would be an up market. Deep down inside, interest rates are going up. You're finding opportunities to place your money other places. I've been waiting for this for a decade. No joke. I've been waiting for inflation to come, and I've been waiting for interest rates to go up for 10 years. I've been pretty much out of the market since 2018, 2019. I enjoyed some of that crazy upside in 2020. With Garrett, we both looked at Cathie Wood's portfolio. We said, all right, this is the end of the bull market. When they champion a momentum trader as some sort of stock picking guru, it was over. And we were right. We were talking about a stealth bear market in February and March of last year, so 2021, and I've been in pretty much cash. But the surprise would be an up day, because I think we're all thinking the same type of thing. They're going to raise interest rates. They're going to scare the heck out of everybody. 75 is baked in, but if they surprise you, usually surprises make the market go down. Welcome to the contra surprise. I would not be surprised to see this market going up today. And again, what will be a big tell will be, how I trade. Just give me a VWAP break and some range breaks. Because speaking of irony, you're looking at a chart right now that is the most ironic chart of the day. And Garrett and I also, we've been talking about shorting DWAC since they came out. This is a failed SPAC. It's a failed company already. Truth Social, Trump's wannabe Twitter. Twitter's not even good to own. Why would you want to own a wannabe Twitter? So this is the stock that was going to bring it public. And if you don't know, the stock was $175 at one point, and now it's at $19, and it's still going lower. I've been shorting it through naked calls, and I'm going to show you that at some other time. I have a credit call spread where it's basically risk-free to make yourself some cash. But the ironic trade is this trade. The stock's going down. We all know it's going down. Things going to zero. And then he gets there's some sort of criminal charges being brought. I didn't read the story. I don't know what's going on exactly. but I hear blah, 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 Trump being indicted. Okay, great. You think the stock would go down? Nope. It tries to break VWAP, tries to break VWAP. It doesn't break down, and then suddenly it breaks VWAP. You know what we're doing here? We're buying it. We're buying it because VWAP knows more than anybody. And when you start looking at the market in an algorithmic way, when it's only price, the news story is a catalyst, sure, but you still have to wait till the stock decides or the index or the market decides what it wants to do. And then I just piggyback on the bigger move. And I'm short the stock with calls. So I had to buy the stock because, listen, I'm not going to get squeezed. I don't think it's going up. I mean, my credit call spread is up in the hundreds. The stock's at 18 bucks. But for a goof, I bought the stock because this is a chart pattern that has made me money for 11 years. The ironic trade. Why is this stock going up? I don't know. Buy it. And that's why we bought it right here. And I bought it at 18 bucks and it went to the orange line, proving once again, and look what happened at the orange line. In the absence of anything significant, blue gets you orange because this is your today's VWAP, and the stock will gravitate to the prior day VWAP, and that's where you got. And that, my friend, is a $19 stock going to, an $18 stock going to 19 and change. Have a nice day. So that's what we do.
So Kenny, two things I want to point out real quick. One, I don't know if you don't care about the bond market, but the 2-year Treasury bond just went to 4% today. It's the first time that's ever happened, right? Right. And why does that matter? It matters because the bond markets are taking Powell seriously. The bond markets are freaking out. The bond markets are tanking. And what we're seeing in the stock market is still the same type of buy the dip pattern, right? So if we didn't have algorithmic trading, if we were back in like 1980 right now, the market would be at 3,200. The S&P would be at 3,200, way lower possibly. Like sentiment would have bottomed out. But you've got capital constantly at work. But I want to bring this chart up because this is the last time that we had the Fed. And going into this meeting, the expectations for a 75-point hike were at about 78%. And the odds of a 100-point hike were 22%. And today, the odds of a 72 is at 82, and odds of an 100 are at 18. So when you say it could go up today, I say, well, of course it could, because all of this stuff has to get covered. People are going to, anyone who's net short in this situation is going to be covering that scenario. So that's why you could see bad news turn into a squeeze. And in this situation, we had a 7-point move that day in less than an hour.
Yeah. It was pretty awesome. And then you had a counter trend move at the end of the day. If that was the last
Correct.
meeting we did this, you had two really, really significant moves after we got done chopping. And what was crazy was that when it looked like we were going to get another move to the upside, that's when we actually rolled over into the close. So, again, for us, we're always prepared to be nimble. And this is for my new VWAPian friends. If you didn't get the idea why we were buying Stitch Fix earlier, if you didn't understand why we were looking at, SOBR or SLNG and what we were doing this morning, ALT as another one, if you weren't hip to that, I still want you to stay on the sidelines today. And even if you are a pseudo professional, it's not the craziest idea to sit back and observe and see what happens. Let the market tell you what it wants to do. And if it's screaming left, right, center, you don't know what it wants to do, don't get involved. You don't want to get involved with the schizophrenic girlfriend, do you? Because sometimes she loves you, next time she's trying to get you, and then she's over your bed while you're sleeping with a pillow. But that's kind of what I'm saying here. If you didn't understand, and I've met a lot of new people this week, and I've been trying to teach them the difference between investing, swing trading, and what we do. We are just short-term minded, playing whatever the market gives us, sometimes minute to minute, hour to hour, or maybe multiple hours, but normally it's just for the day. So when this announcement gets hit, think about how many different people are going to be reacting to it. And then you've got the algorithms, and then you've got the counter reaction. So all of that causes this crazy chop. You'll be going one way, and then moments the next, you're not going that way, and you're breaking back down. You can get chopped up. And at the end of the day, sometimes we wind up exactly where we were, but you in the process got beat on both sides. So, again, that's why we're hanging out here, going to observe it all. And look what's happening right now. This is a nice little move up into the report. Now, coincidentally, talking about algorithms, the algorithms right now, some of them, the better ones, know that there's a Fed meeting in the next 15 minutes. But then there's the algorithms that just trade price. They don't know what's going on. So the market blew off the top. And where did it come back to? It came back to today's VWAP, and it found support there. The if-then statement around VWAP is if it holds the VWAP and then breaks back above a prior level, that usually begets or triggers more buying. So it holds it. There's nobody left to sell. It starts to rally. And look at the market. We are now at highs of the day, going into the most fearful, volatile moment of the year, and we are rallying right into it. It makes zero sense.
As Bitcoin is up 3.5%, right? Like what? Interest rates go higher. Bitcoin doesn't pay any dividend, yet here it is, moving another 3.6% on the day. And that's another reason why I always say pay attention to Bitcoin, because speculators will speculate. You got near a $700 move already in the last couple of hours. So, the idea that you see a move to 392 again, if we are so over short on the SPY. I pointed this out earlier today. This is the situation for the market. Look, you go back. This is the net short positioning in this environment is the most profound that we have seen since 2020, 2015, 2011, 2008. It doesn't take a lot of buying volume to force a squeeze here. And again, the other thing that I said is when you're really looking for a bottom, the bottom's not going to come until the insiders start buying. That was the low point. We have not had a big insider buy period. And because of that, that's why we're going to continue to see a lot of this chop over time, So all we can do right now is look to see what the state of the SPY is. And heading into today, very similar to what we saw back in January, the S&P 500, the SPY itself, it's effectively down near some oversold territory, right? 40 on the RSI, coming down low on the MACD. We're in negative territory, but it should not shock anyone if that capital that we were talking about that's betting against, betting on that 100-point move, if that 100-point move doesn't come in, and you got to start covering some short positions, the SPY can squeeze, and it's already moving higher right now. You could potentially see a return back to here's that 389 from the other day. We might be testing the 392 level. You might be talking about 405 on the spot on the S&P 500, 4050 on the S&P 500, maybe a retest to 4,000. It's not going to make sense. We simply have to follow the momentum of the market, and we have to pay attention to what the VWAP is telling us.
Absolutely. So my new VWAPian friends, the people that are starting to read this market, now you see where we're coming from. It's nice to have the overall picture. It's nice to have, Garrett in your corner, and nice to know what April's thinking, nice to know what we're all thinking. But for me, in the nucleus of the market, I'm just waiting for my specific catalyst to trade intraday. And like I said earlier, and if you've been with me since Monday, inevitably, when this market becomes a lot less volatile and a lot less scary right now, I think this is not a good time. People say buy the blood, buy the fear. I think the fear and the blood's going to get worse. I'm not buying anything right now. But, again, letting everything we say and do be validated by VWAP and price, it's hard to be wrong when you allow the market to tell you what to do opposed to the other way. And again, anybody's guess right now. It's anybody's guess. I think the one thing we could all agree upon, it's going to be 75 minimum. What do you think would happen? Now, what do you think would happen if the Fed said, you know what, we've looked at the data, blah, blah, blah. Now we think we only have to raise 50. Would that be looked at as a positive or just another odd shock that may be, because if they lower it less, you would think, oh, bullish. So I don't know. What would you think?
If we went to 50 today, Kenny, you would see a candle so green and so large it would confuse you. It would.
All right. Well, I'm already.
It would
confused,
look like it would look like the Incredible Hulk's middle finger on your screen. Like it would just. You'd be talking about a move possibly to 425.
That's a great chart pattern. It just happened right there. Look at that. There it is. That's a great meme right there. The Incredible Hulk giving a big finger to the shorts. But right now, this doesn't make any sense. What's happening right now? Who's buying going into this moment? But the algos don't know, and it's just if then. So if it holds VWAP, then buy here. If it breaks here, then buy more. It broke the high today. There's more buying. This is nuts. And again, I would be looking to sell right into this move because you got, 12 minutes, 13 minutes to adjust. And there you go, right on cue. Look at that monster candle. There you go. Incredible Hulk turned into something else. I don't know.
Well, I mean, this is exactly the nature of this market, and this is why I think the fact that we talk and explain this process 30 minutes before 2 o'clock is to explain. You're seeing short covering. You're seeing funds using any short-term pop in order to unload some positions. That's all this is. And, you might be trying to trade through it. The reality is it's completely acceptable to sit in cash for a half an hour. It's completely acceptable to do nothing this afternoon because there might be more action on Thursday and Friday as the market tries to make sense of this. Everybody sits down and reanalyzes everything. There's going to be a lot of data. There's going to be a lot of movement 3 weeks from now when we get the minutes from this meeting. That's going to create a lot of volatility. That's going to create a lot of chop. So we're in this very it's not unprecedented, but it is entirely its own. In that we've had these events in the past, 01, 08, 2020, late 2018. This is the first time that I think I've ever been in a position where people are not acting like we're in a crisis, and we very clearly are based on the way that the bond market is behaving and the level of choppiness of this market. It is not moving in a straight line down. It is moving down 10, 15%, coming up 5, dropping another 10 to 15%, coming up another 5, and then we're waiting for that capitulation moment, and we are just not there yet.
Right, and I think that's why I am still nervous. I'd rather see them puke it up and build. We did get that kind of a moment on the Josh Brown bottom in June where everybody was capitulating that afternoon, and then we came back and we had a 2-month rally. And again, listen, if we have 2-month rallies in the midst of a 2-year down move, those 2-month rallies are going to be glorious for everybody. And then we just sell into the move. So again, once you learn how to trade the motion of the ocean, you'll be fine no matter what you do. But right now, going back to that point of not doing anything, that's fine with most of us right now. And, there's going to be so much to do that, again, if this is just a life lesson or a lesson in volatility, so be it. And that brings me to my next point. Look at the UVXY. Look at the UVIX. Look at the VIX itself. UVIX, look at UVXY, and look at the VIX futures. That's /VX. The VIX futures are crashing. The volatility products are all going down. It's kind of telling us that this might not be any bad moment in the market. Mm-hmm. It might be all baked in because the UVXY and these VIX products, for as bad as a product they are to track, because they're disintegrating products, the VIX is telling us that it seems like there isn't that much nervousness right now. That can change in 9 minutes. But when you're seeing the market rallying into this moment, and you also got to take the conspiracy theory. Somebody knows. People in the know. The Illuminati knows. They've got the report already. They wrote the report. Okay, they know exactly what's going on. We are just trying to piggyback the next move. Oh, somebody knows.
Oh, hold up, Kenny. You're telling me that there's no Chinese wall between the Federal Reserve and certain other people.
Shh, I'm not saying nothing. I'm not saying you don't want to. I didn't say nothing. Who am I? Why am I here? I didn't say
My name's Garrett Baldwin, and I'm not on the show. Bye.
I'm not getting Epsteined, so I don't know about nothing. But you are seeing the one indicator that we can take something away from. Volatility is falling right now. And it's not just a fact that the market is strong. The volatility hasn't been there. I mean, the index themselves. And it's kind of telling us that, maybe the coast is clear down here. We are only 10, 12, or 13 points off the lows. And look, I'm as excited as everybody else. I can't wait to see how this day pans out. Well, first of all, I know I'm going to be able to find an idea, and and if it's not this afternoon, it'll be tomorrow, because whatever range, today, let's think of this moment at 2:00 as the opening candle. You're going to get a monster candle, and then when that candle, the next candle's inside, the rest of the afternoon could be inside that big candle. So if it comes out of the big candle, usually we go that way, either up or down. But let's say we have this big monster move at 2:00, or this huge candle, right? And we stay in it for the next 2 hours. Tomorrow, when we come out of that range, it'll be a new trade. So again, everything we learned from today, it adds to what we're going to do and how we're going to prepare for tomorrow. And speaking of tomorrow, if you guys don't know this, we have an open invitation to a Thursday night drinking fest. Me and 8-Ball, we get drunk in front of you live, and we see how many charts we can how many charts we can crunch without passing out. And I'm not kidding. Thursday nights, I do something on my own website. I'd like to invite everybody right now. If you haven't got the invite, I'll post it in the room later. It's a Thursday night. We start playing music. Grateful Dead, if you like the Dead, so you can hang out. Prior to the show, we play some Dead. We have a few drinks, and then I come on around 7:30 Eastern Standard Time, and I'm going to dip in a little bit about how to prepare for options on Friday, because that's when I like trading options. Just want to throw that out there. I know they were asking about it, but it's Thursday evening, so it's a private thing. It's invite only. I'm going to invite you all because I want you guys to see how we prepare. And preparation, so you get your skill set from what we do here every day. That's your preparation, and then putting it into action is the hard part, because that's when the fear comes in. And when you start to learn as much as you possibly can, your fear starts to dissipate. You understand the market, how it trades on price. You understand how important VWAP is, and then you kind of get an idea of what you want to do, and then take that knowledge, parlay that into an options trade, and that's when you find those 5 or 10, 20 baggers sometimes. And we've been hitting doubles and triples and quadruples almost every Friday. And I'm talking about hundreds and 200, 300% gains on our option trades. That's just standard. The last couple of weeks, we've had some 15 baggers, some 20 baggers, meaning a $200 option trade, you made yourself 1,200, $2,000, sometimes $3,000 or $4,000. So knowing what you're doing, and again, let's say today is a dud and we just chop around, and tomorrow's more chop. When we come out of that chop, that's when the bigger move happens. That could be on Friday. So these next 2 days could be just sitting and observing and learning, and then prepare for Friday. One good trade makes your week, like some of us did in Stitch Fix today, and some of us did in Sava yesterday. One good trade is really what you need. And I think we're gonna find more than one. I'm pretty sure. So I don't know.
All right. We got 5 minutes.
Yeah. I'm hoping for the big one. I'm hoping for the 1%. I'm going with the 1%. I want to see the 1%. And the question is the language, and that's what's going to happen. If there's a hint that this might be it, we rally. So if they do the 1% and we said, all right, we're good, we go up. But if they say if there's still uncertainty, the market doesn't like that uncertainty. If they hint and they're kind of saying, kind of telling you, I don't know, again, if they don't want to be committal to it, that could be bearish. But again, that's why this is so much fun. I love the unknown.
So if you're looking at this, Mark, look at that candle move. Oof. If you're looking at this environment, now, and it's 2:00, how are you looking to trade this over the next 90 minutes? Are you looking at individual stocks? Are you looking at, say, the SPY 390 call that expires today for $2? What's the optimal way to trade this right now? And look, I mean, we're about to hit 387 right now before we get any news.
Right, because the Illuminati is buying right now. I'm all about the Qs. Wednesday expiration QQQ. Now, I know the SPYs trade Wednesday options too. And my friends, if you don't know how special this product is, it's something amazing. We never had options expiration on Mondays or Wednesdays. It was always third Friday of the month. Now we've got this opportunity to be able to trade $300 stocks like the Qs for pennies on the dollar. And right now, again, if you're looking at let's go look at the chain now to be looking at. These are today's options, okay? So the ones that are going to expire by the end of the day. This is where you're going to get your bang for your buck, because you're talking about expiration at the end of the day. When the news comes out and the stocks start to chop around, the premiums are going to go down, by the way. So you don't want to buy them now because you're buying the unknown. As soon as they talk about what they're doing, the premiums are going to get hammered because the unknown is taken away. Options are priced with what? Volatility and the unknown. So when the unknown is taken away, all you got left is price. And then the last part of it is time. You're only going to have 2 hours left to expiration. So they've taken the volatility out. They've taken the time out. So now you could go in there and trade them price. So I'm going to be looking at 290, the 289s to the 292s. And obviously I'm going to try to pick the right direction. I'm going right with the Qs, and I'm going to be looking at today's expiration. So that's my chain right there, September 21st. And we got 2 minutes left before they say something. And again, I'm shocked. I thought the market would stay flat into this moment. I didn't think anybody would be committing to either side. And you broke the highs of the day just now. And
again, low volume buying, right. Low volume buying. I mean, that's one of the key things to keep in mind. But 290 on the Qs, share support is at 280 from the negative channel that we've been in since August 15th. We got 1 minute left, and then it's going to be showtime, and you're about to see. We're going to stick on the Qs. What do you say, Kenny? I'm happy with that.
Yeah, stick with the Qs. And again, if you want to trade the QQQ related stocks, that's your NVIDIA, your Apple, your Microsoft. And if you noticed, Apple, Microsoft found some strength the last couple of days. You had NVIDIA finding some strength. You had Tesla finding strength. These are all QQQ related stocks. If you don't trade those individual names, you go to the QQQ. That's the main source. And that's why I like the Qs. If you don't know about the Qs, I've been trading them since inception, and there went the market. Whoa, another spike up. Did they actually make an announcement?
No. They have not. No, there it goes. Remember, the first move is typically the wrong one. Woo! And there she goes.
Wait a minute. They haven't said anything yet, right?
No, it's 2:00, so it's out. I just haven't seen it yet.
I need to change. I think I just might have had an accident. Like that was so vicious that I feel like something bad happened to me personally.
This is why I'm sitting in cash, because of stuff like this. Federal, what the hell just happened?
But wait a second, look at this chart, kid. It went to that prior support first and held it.
3/4 of a percentage point to fight inflation, and everybody is just dumping right now. Look, I'm not going to you're going to wait this process out. You're going to wait until 2:30. 3 percentages of a...
We got a real only down. So now
yes,
the counter move is going to be good.
Should be.
Because usually you get a little bit more chop. Look, they tried to sucker you in. That's what this was. They tried to sucker
That's
you
why
in.
I'm trying to get in and try to buy something, but it's already, there's not much opportunity here. So out of the money, 383 has now jumped to 342. You're at 383 on the SPY. and now it's starting to run. I'm trying to get into the out of the money. I'm trying to get the 390s.
Oh my!
Hold up.
I just bought the Qs. That's about it. Once they broke back above the bottom candle, hang on a second. Let me put my stop on. All right.
It's been a while since I've seen a reaction like that. But hold up. I'm looking for the Qs today. The 290s right now are at 250.
Yeah. Good luck. Yeah, I tried to buy them at $1.90 just now. Yeah. But that's why trading the stock is still a little bit easier. You saw the first move. The first candle was just a monster candle. So you have to think there's going to be a counter move. When does that counter move? I bought right there and I just got stopped out. Wow. I sold. I mean, it's still algorithmic. Look what we did.
Yeah.
Even these candles.
Again, we're still waiting. You're still waiting until 2:30. I mean, that's the key thing. We got to hear what Powell wants to say, but it is okay to speculate right now. You could speculate on the 391 for a buck. For the 390 call for today on the SPY for a buck. You were at the bottom of the channel for the day.
Oh, wait, hang on.
I mean, do you see this? You see this bleeding the 380? You see this bleeding the?
What do you got? You're on the SPYs. I mean, it's the same exact chart. By the way, if you haven't noticed, this is just one of those moments where you get to really appreciate how the market's rigged to price.
Mm-hmm.
This is the SPY chart. Look where the multiple time frame is. Now look at the QQQ chart. It's the same exact chart because the market's rigged. It's all one big algorithm, which kind of, lends into the idea that these are not companies anymore. It's just letters and numbers going by. And that's how I treat it. I don't think I'm ever going to be comfortable enough to not think that way. I wanna be an investor one day. I used to like it, but now this market is just, it's just the price. And look what just happened. I didn't even have a chance to sell. I bought 100 shares as a goof. And again, the idea was when it broke back above the candle where it was the low, I bought right there. I was up $100 and I wound up getting out making $8. That's how quickly this move happened. But look, we got the dump, and then where did it go back to? It got rejected at prior day VWAP. Now we're rolling over. So now that we're rolling over, it usually gets a lot worse. But if this market's going to make any type of rally, and I'm talking about today, tomorrow, or the next day, that little attempt to rally on the Qs is going to be so significant going forward that you could just write that price down. So 288.98, write it down. Because if you see 288.98 being broken tomorrow, you're a buyer. But right now, this is what we call the rollover. Sell-off, attempted to rally, rolls over. That adds to the momentum to the downside.
Money is screaming out of this market right now. I mean, billions and billions of dollars are just screaming out right now.
Right.
And wow. Yeah, I mean,
let me just break it down for you as quickly as I can. Break down
what I'm still looking for.
There you go, 286.59. Now watch, 286.59. Let's see if it gets to 286.59. We're on the Qs. The last level you broke down from, you got smoked. You break back above those levels where they got smoked from, chances are you're going to go higher. So 286, what I say? 286.59. So what's going to happen is the algorithms are programming that price right now. So 286.59 gets you 287.81 and possible back to there. And that is what I'm thinking about doing. So let's say we don't break it, which is great. The more we hover down here, but if we don't break down, that forms this range. I don't think we're going to hold, and this market's looking like it's going to roll over hard. But now we're starting to form ranges. And when we form ranges, then you start to see which price is the most significant. Right now, it's the top of that candle is the most significant candle. And look, that little sell-off is staying inside this one. It's a little, again, it's not a super bullish moment, but as bullish as you can get on a stock market that just got slammed. So if you're sitting there stalking and flying.
Key line today, the committee decided to raise the target rate to 3 to 3.25 and anticipates that ongoing increases in the target rate will be appropriate. In addition, the committee will continue reducing its holdings of Treasury securities and agency debt and agency mortgage-backed securities as described in the plans for reducing the size of the Fed's balance sheet as were issued in May. The committee is strongly committed to returning inflation to its 2% objective. So, this is likely going to be a very stern lecture from Mr. Powell right now.
All right.
But again, you're not down 3%, you're down 0.7. It's not a cataclysmic move. So again, you're still waiting until 2:30 and look.
We're in. We just bought the Qs.
Buy.
We're in. I got my first trigger. So as soon as we came over that candle, I'm in. Now we're rallying. If we don't get to 287.76, I'm immediately going to dump it. You see how we got over the candle? So I bought that high print right there, getting paid a little bit. I haven't sold it because I'm looking to get paid. I'm trying to get at least $1 out of it. But finger on the trigger, I'm not letting this thing roll over. And again, I'm trading 100-share lots in my wife's account, so screw my wife. But if this trade doesn't work, it's going to be all right. I'm risking what? The bottom of this candle is my out. So I've defined my risk immediately, right? I'm in from 47, and my risk is 64. And if I don't, again, I could take my $50 right now and say I made money in this move. And again, you want me to? Sold to you! Boom! There you go.
Right. Yeah, I mean, the SPY 389 right now, is it $1? I mean, that's really the key look right now.
See what I just did? I gave you the price. You bought here. You just got done there. There's your day's pay. You want to trade the Fed with Garrett and Kenny? I'll show you how to do it. There you go. You got your capitulation. There's your capitulation candle. Breaks back over the capitulation candle. You buy it. Stocks that break one range tend to go to the prior range where they broke down from is where you sell it. Have a nice day. Trade the Fed.
Are you out now?
I'm out. Had 100 shares. I just made $87. Okay. Woohoo! Come on. But that's the point.
Yeah,
I just wanted to show you how to do it, and there it was. So now
it's very, very difficult to do in like a chat, because like for example, like if I'm buying the 389 right now for today for $1.15, I got to set a stop at 85 cents. And that's just what it's going to be. I'm going to buy something for 115, and if it drops down at 85, done. Okay, like that's how it's going to be. But if we get a breakout, if we get a move higher now, and we start moving toward that 230 period, it is what it is. I'm looking for the one directional move that should come at 230 to 235.
All right. So before we go any further, everybody understand what I just did? That's just what we call a range break. We got the capitulation, just like I tried to do over here. When it broke back above where it broke down from, I bought it. But that time I didn't sell into the move, and I wound up getting out pretty much flat. This time I didn't make that mistake. As soon as I got in, I was like, okay, let me get ready to take my money. Sold. Took the money this time. But look what's happening. We're kind of consolidating at this upper level. Suddenly we're changing the posture of this market. Uh-oh. Shorts are a little bit nervous now. Wait a minute. We're not rolling over. Uh-oh. So now if we break back above where we didn't break a second ago, next thing you know, you got the full-blown VWAP retrace. You get back over the VWAP, nobody's going to want to be short this market. So right now the market's putting in a fight. So again, while it's fighting, that's when you get the chop. And to Garrett's point, once again,
technically just stopped out.
Yep. Not once again, no problem. Just sitting back and waiting for the next setup, because now let the market consolidate and tell us what to do next. Still feels a little bullish. All right. So if we're still feeling bullish, let's see. What are those 290s now?
So you want to look at Apple.
290s, 150. Yeah. Let's go look at those market stocks. Yeah. Apple's same kind of thing. You'd be looking at 157s on Apple. And again, I don't
So
mind you
I'm
trading
asking, how did you pick 286.59 as the price point?
QQQ. So that candle right there, 286.47, and then this candle where it broke to come down from is 286.59. I decided to use this candle right there because that's the one failed green candle, and then it starts to break down, but it never did break down. And I figured, okay, if that's going to be a pivot, it has to break this candle. And then it broke that one and the 286.59. And then I wasn't going to get greedy. It got back to the upper channel, so I sold it up here. Took my buck. And now, pretty good trade because it's right back to where I bought it. And now we're back into the chop. And if you notice, UVXY back in the green, not good for the bulls. If you notice, the market's coming in, right? So, but we're not breaking down. There's buyers here. And now wait till it happens after some more verbiage comes out. What else are they saying? Anything else? Are they updating every minute and a
Nothing
half?
significant. The key chart's what I've been talking about before, and that's the UUP. We're on the verge of hitting 30 on the UUP. We clipped 29.92 a little while ago. And again, the dollar just continues to be the place where everybody wants to be. Remember, raising rates strengthens the dollar. People selling stocks, rushing to cash, strengthens the dollar. So the dollar continues its run. The DXY is now at 111. Billions of dollars were just lost. I mean, this is just nuts to see. Oh, sorry, the UUP. Can we share this chart, please? Thank you. Here's the UUP. So again, what we said at the beginning of the year, said last year, long dollar, raising rates, tightening cycle. Here's the UUP pushing toward 30. That's been our target all along this year. So we're hit 392, 29.92. You start to see a real pronounced sell-off. You're going to see the dollar continue to see strength from interest rates and from people rushing into cash. UUP can be one of your better safety spots when you're holding cash while the market is in a negative momentum environment.
Garrett, this is kind of crazy what's going on right now. In the chat, Josh is putting a deal in for the next 10 people to sign up for the world's biggest trade. They have a special deal. They're going to be getting 6 months of Trade the Close for free. This is insane what's going on right now. This is a big month. I know. Josh is putting that in chat right now. That's a pretty big deal. That's pretty awesome. If you guys want to take advantage of that deal, go ahead and call the number in the chat right there, 1-877-212-9163. So you can get in on that offer. The next 10 people that call that number are going to get that deal. Guys, there's a lot going on right now. You guys look like you're enjoying this little Fed movement right now. That is huge. Look at that.
All right. Call Gabe's team now. Because
it sounds
380
like
now.
Sounds like you guys are in something already. You have SQQ. Well, if you were in SQQ, you were getting a little nervous right there, but now you could sell it. And again, look, that last sell-off, you did not break down again. We're obviously down, but there's buyers everywhere. This is not that capitulation feel right now, and that could all change in minute to minute. But you're seeing buyers show up at these levels like we were in June, like we were 5 years ago.
It's this buy the dip mentality. I mean, again, the bond market believes the Fed. The equity market does not.
And you guys want to see something absolutely crazy out of any stock that you would think, all this craziness in the market, the dumbest, most worthless stock is going up right now while we're sitting there. You know it. You love it. It's Sober. SOBR. Look at this. So if you guys were watching this bad boy with us earlier, had a couple of long trades in it, and I was telling everybody, make sure you don't fall in love with it because it's a pump and dump. And oh boy, it got dumped. This is 280 all the way down to 180. That's huge. But then, just like the market, if it wants to fight back and tell us that it's stronger than we thought, then let's get involved. I bought it back at 222 and made some money in this move, and look what just happened. The stock just got so much buying, right, that it's halted. wow, in the midst of all this chaos, this little garbage stock that probably doesn't even have a product is just going straight up. Pretty wild stuff. All right, let's go back to the Qs because they are getting smoked again.
MSFT, yeah, Microsoft is what you want to watch. 241 right now. Support level is 240. And that 240 level, that is bottom of the channel. That's back to taking us back to May 2021. I mean, we're getting into the big names now that could potentially really start to break down. And that's where you're talking big fund money, big ETFs. And this is what I worried about, Kenny. It's those companies like what's Datadog doing right now? DDOG, right? Probably up a little bit. No, I mean, had the big candle move down from 96. This is an unprofitable company with a market capitalization over 10 billion held by Soros Group, Vanguard, BlackRock. All of these ETFs are holding these companies that are effectively worthless in the face of rising interest rates. At some point, they've got to say enough of this, and they got to start to let this stuff go. Big money, passive investment money locked up in these stocks, and they're just getting pulverized. Remember, Microsoft is still an expensive stock if you look at its historical price to sales.
I think when you could say that, fill in the blank, most stocks are. Most stocks, and that's what's scary about the market. Most stocks are still overvalued when you start breaking it down. Even as much as I never thought I'd be able to buy PayPal under $100 again in my lifetime. And here it is in the 90s. I'm still scared. I'm still scared of it because really the valuation is still high. It's still trading 24, 25 times earnings. Also, it was a pandemic stock. I mean, the reason a lot of those stocks went up is that people were just buying. Wayfair and Overstock were typical Peloton, typical Zoom, typical. PayPal was kind of in there, even though they're not great, even though they're a good company and they have kind of a monopoly on what we do with purchasing online. I'm still scared to buy it, even though I never thought it would be here. And just because stocks have crashed doesn't mean they can't go lower. That's a great example on the Peloton. Even though it went to 30, it still went to 10. Zoom, even though it broke down to 150, it still went to $75. So when nobody wants to own something, remember the analogy I was making with artwork. If everybody wants the art and then you find out the artist himself or herself is not a good person, suddenly nobody wants their art anymore and it has zero value. That's kind of the way I look at this market. When everyone's excited about owning the art, I get excited too. I got no problem joining in on the bull market, and I did in 2000, and it really was surprising. Why are we going up in the midst of a pandemic? Oh, that's right, because the Fed took the market over and is making the market go up right now. I'm not going to fight the Fed. I wrote a song about it, and that's what happened. But then the Fed told us a year and a half ago, we're probably going to stop doing this. And lo and behold, Cathie Wood's a hack now, and the market's going down. They basically told us what they were going to do. You just had to listen. They told us there's going to be somewhere else to put your money 18 months from now. And the market is a foretelling vehicle. You had to be selling a year and a half ago. And now this is called capitulation. That's why you're seeing buyers. The smart money, the Illuminati, they sold. They paid Goldman Sachs to fool you in December by telling you, and again, it was a very, very well-planned attack. They spent 6 months telling you that you're wrong about thinking this market's a bubble. They spent 6 months making fun of Garrett. No, valuations don't matter, you dummy. What are you talking about? We're Goldman Sachs. Look, we're piling into the market. And then they reiterated that in December and January. It was a concerted attack. That's what they do. They manipulate the market. But when you trade only price, it's very hard to be manipulated because you're trading what you see. And by the way, what you see is sober. Oh my God. The stock's at 290 now. Guys, you want to have some fun? Let's go look at this stock for a second. So now it came out of the halt. And again, I know we're on a different topic now. This is nothing about the Fed.
It's okay.
This is just pump and dump at its best. And when the pumps get dumped, it's a great trade. But when those pumps come back, oh my God, you got to buy it. And when they come out of the halt and they break over the halt price, this was every one of my friends just bought this stock at 285 and probably selling right here at 3 and change and making a nice trade, because this is what I teach. Stocks that don't want to die often are buys. And when are they buys? Look at that VWAP break. This is a $2 stock going to 3. It's a 30% move right there. But more importantly, there was so much buying that they had to halt the stock. That's a lot of buying. So when a stock comes out of a halt because it was halted on buy side and it breaks the high of the halt, that triggers more buying. And that buying right there, 285, got you 310. That ain't bad
Voz
for
is
anything.
saying that there's a buy. Voz is saying there's a buy program coming in on the SPY right now.
There's a buy program on Sober. If it breaks 310, this might be going back to 350. Incredible action right there. But let's take a look at the SPYs.
Key thing that I want to point out is that the expectations for a 100-point hike today have now moved to 2%. So that's being wound down. But Voz is probably, it looks like this stuff's coming in now. So let's see. Let's try this again.
And then you got Sober. Oh my God. I love it when it's about to get halted again for upside buying. People, this is what's crazy about the market. We got the biggest event of the year happening right now. But meanwhile, it's this pump and dump piece of crap that's kicking ass for all of us. Sell it 330. Sell it. If you don't want to be in the halt, sell it at 330. Hit these 325s. It's going to get halted. You never know what's going to happen out of the halt. Sold to you, 325. I don't want to be in the halt. I don't care if it goes to $100. I don't want to be in the halt again. Wow. So let's go back to the SPYs. So Boz is seeing a little buy program. What I'm seeing is not a real buy program going on. I see a market that does not really want to go down right now. It doesn't. Mm-hmm. It's already gone down. We're trying to stabilize. We got bang. There's your low of the day. On every attempt to go lower, you didn't even break the lows of the day yet. And that's kind of a reason to buy, because anybody who's long right now has 2 outs. These candles here and that candle there. And they're all hoping we break this little range that we're trapped in. If the longs are right, we're going to go screaming higher and retest up there. But if they're wrong, they're just going to get stopped out down here. So the risk reward right now, the shorts are risking more because we can go screaming higher. The longs are like, all right, I could take a shot down here. I know exactly what I'm risking with unlimited reward. So the battle is raging on. And if you see the UVXY is about to go negative, you come out of this range, we're going higher. And by the way, this Sober ain't going away. I'm out, but it ain't going away just like this market. So let's take a look. Let's look at those SPYs. Voz is seeing a buy program. I'm seeing capitulation that has been bought. Now, the idea would be you're a buyer right now, right there at 381.83. Bang. See how that works? Preparation, knowing what you're doing. Sober's at 335. I can't believe it. But here, if you bought this market, and again, if you're trading futures, that's a trade right there because the futures move so much. Look at this move now. It's being sold right into. So you got this false breakout. And if it holds now, the shorts are going to get hammered. Because if this is the moment right here. You break the high of this candle, we should be lifting off. So Voz is bullish. I'm bullish. Now you better get over this. You better get over that candle right now if you're feeling the SPYs right now. And the battle is looking like it's going to get won by the bulls. There you go. Now what do? If you bought here, sell some. Take the money. Put the stop at break even. Now go under the desk and hope and pray and call your friends. Hope and faith, whoever your friends are. 8-ball, Hope and Faith, come on over. You sold some. You got the move. Now put
there we go.
Now you can't lose. There you go.
Yep, we're in the 387 call for today. We're looking for a little bit of a push higher. We get from 110 to maybe 135. Get the hell out and move on. But Voz showing up. Voz, look at Voz go, everybody.
There you go. Now let's go.
Better hold, Voz. Your reputation's on the line.
Showing the Qs are going to do the same kind of thing. There it is. Capitulation. Tries to rally. Mm-hmm. That's the move that we played. There's your little mini ass crack. And the same situation. Comes out of the range. You buy the break of the range because your stops are sitting there already identified. if you can identify the trade, there's my risk, there's my reward, and you're obviously always hoping for more reward, but you keep in mind that if we roll over, you just get out of the rest. You take some money on the way up. If it rolls back over, you get out of the rest. Rinse and repeat. You do this 3 or 4 times. Now we're 2 for 3 on Qs or SPYs. And then you throw in this sober trade, which I can't believe actually worked. That was a nice little payday. You know, even buying it out of the halt at 291. 291 got you 320. It's pretty sweet. Anyway, so far so good, right? 1 chop, 2 profitable trades. And now, if you're in the Qs or the SPYs, you sell into the move. Don't be embarrassed taking quick profits. That's why we're here. And then you either stick around, you get paid more, you get stopped out. Right now, yeah, UVXY is back in the red. Market's kind of stable. Anything else coming out of the Fed? I mean, there's not much more that they could say to scare us, right?
I don't know. It looks like I might stop out again.
Yeah, you
gotta sit stop. Again, this is just that I gotta put it into a chat, and now it looks like this might bomb out. Come on, hold. I'm gonna stop out at 85 cents, and it's out. Damn it!
Chop will get you, man.
Well, chop will get you. There's nothing you can do about it. I mean, if you're trading options on it.
Right. So far, I haven't traded options because it's very difficult for me to be nimble, the way I am. And all right, let me go back to this QQQ chart now. Look what we've just set up, right? That time we didn't get to that new high, but we're now making higher lows. So if this holds this last breakout and starts to turn again, you buy the Qs and you use this turn area as your out. One of these we're going to be wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say it comes down to this spot. Starts to rally. We buy the Qs, let's say 286.90. We're wrong. We lose 50 cents immediately. We're right. It breaks the highs. We get to the VWAP. That could be the beginnings of that monster rally all the way into the close. So right now, it's still a bullish posture, even though this market's volatile and scary. This is still bullish until we break down. We keep holding higher levels. You see? You see what I'm saying? Here's the low.
Yep.
New level. We broke it. Now we're pulling back and we're holding the prior level. This is bullish posture now. UVXY coming in. Market's starting to see, now you're starting to see more bullishness. And more bullishness becomes more. Then you break upper levels. Then you break VWAP. And by the way, if the Qs are above 288.80 at any point today, you better be buying them because now you got a 1-minute multi-day VWAP collision.
Mm-hmm.
That's a major spot. If we can get over that, I would say there's no doubt we're going to rally into the close. But right now we're battling, and the bulls are sort of losing right now.
All right, Powell's going to speak right now. Market doesn't like what he has to say. Stopped out on the 388, on the 387. Yep. Got to keep trying it. Oh, wait, I said 80 cents on that. Where are we right now? We're at 85, so we haven't hit 80 cents on that yet. So come on, Mr. Powell, come in and save us. Powell is speaking now. I'm sure it's very educational.
And
watch him speak.
On a different topic, let me just express one more time how much I despise Chase and JP Morgan right now. JP Morgan and Citibank. When interest rates go up, the banks are making more money on us because they are taking our money. They're not giving you any interest on your savings, but they're lending out your money now at higher interest rates, right? A good bank, is there a scrupulous, a non-scrupulous? I guess a fair bank would raise interest rates now that interest rates have been going up. But JP Morgan and Citibank have kept their rates at zero and they're not paying anybody. Take your money out of JP Morgan, take your money out of Citibank. They're despicable banks. Despicable. Go get your 3% in Marcus. Even Goldman Sachs has
and now the 387 takes off right when I stopped out. It's gone from 80 cents to $1. The very second it stopped out at 80 cents. The exact second.
I got to get into battle mode after that candle.
There is no God.
Happened? What happened just now? Now I got to get back.
I stopped out. The second I stop out is when everything tends to freaking blow up, man. It's crazy. It's like when I buy Bitcoin, it falls 20%.
I got to get my 290 calls back on the radar here. Hold on a second. That pivot was nasty. And when something nasty happens, usually it goes the other way. So that was, wow, look at that. That was just nasty, but nasty good in a way if you're bullish. 290 calls, still 150. Again, I want under $1 if I'm going to trade the option, but I might have to buy the stock again, friends. Look where you just topped out at. That price is still significant, 288.11 and obviously 288.73. Woo, man, chop. That was a nasty one. That one nobody could do. Look, if you had stops at that level, there's nothing you could do. You got stopped out. Now the question is, did all those people that get stopped out, are they going to come right back in and start buying this break? I think we just let's stay a little cautious for now. I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait it out. I'd rather pay up a little bit. This time I'd rather be a little bit late and right than early and wrong. I don't want to get chopped. But I think that capitulation is causing the people to.
There it goes.
I can't even get the sentence out.
This is insanity.
Yeah.
Again, I hit 80 cents on the nose, stopped out, and the 387 is now at 150.
Yeah, good luck getting the 290s at $1. Yeah, now they're down to $2. All right. Well, you just saw a capitulation, so that could be again a stop hunter program. Inevitably, you just got back to the VWAP, and now
you hit the VWAP on the SPY, and now are we going to break above it? Because that's what we're looking at right now.
I think we get give it a couple of choppies, let it chop, consolidate here. If we consolidate here,
you gotta. I mean, you're over now. There it is.
You're through. You're through. They had to jiggle your ass out one more time. Oh man, that was a nasty.
They're watching the show and they're just coming right at me every time.
By the way, I didn't react that quickly. I was just about to buy the 290s. I'm on the sideline, my friends. Look, I knew that was a bullish moment. It engulfed the candle. I went to go buy. I didn't get my print, and now I'm left wanting. So I don't feel comfortable chasing this right here. I think we'll get another opportunity to buy it on the pullback. But you just witnessed trading. That was a calculated algorithmic.
We're roaring now. Look at this thing go. Look at this. One directionally.
Now, by the way, look what just happened.
Too funny.
Even if you
just
bought the VWAP break, boom. That's a payday right there, my friend. So if you were paying attention and you just bought the Qs on the VWAP break, congratulations. There you just did your first VWAP trade. Good for you.
387 calls at 160 now. My congratulations to anyone who did not sell, because this is now going to the moon.
Don't say that yet. Don't say it yet. Don't say the moon yet. We got to consolidate up here.
235. Again, 235 end of day. Your lotto play is the 394s.
I'd still be a seller into these moves, friends. Now, if you bought that breakout, congrats. You still sell into the move. And now you got that beautiful little VWAP area. If you're in the Qs, 288.76. If you did buy on that break, you sell into that move. And now you use that as your stop, because chop usually continues to be choppy. And you're seeing it right now. Wham! That was $1 straight down on the Qs. So, again, this is why I'm not trading options into this. It's very difficult to navigate options. Stocks, boom, bang, I'm out. A lot easier to, get in and out.
Dollar bill made some money.
You're seeing some, again, like we've been saying, it's bullish chop. And that bullish chop has resolved itself to 3 decent moves up. That one last one, that it basically went to the same price. So if you had the same price there, and again, for you QQQ players, how do you stay in these names? 3 different stops. Your stop, even when it pulled back, one stop was there. Sure, they got you, but your other one was here and here. And now you're still in some, and at least you're making something on the way back. Again, everything that we talk about always comes back into play. Not selling your whole position at one price, being patient, waiting for the range breaks. And again, for my new friends who are doing this with us, this is as active can be. You don't normally see dollar moves in one candle on the Qs. There's extra volatility, but when you step back, you see it now. It's all price. Even that little pullback, all it did was go back to the same exact price, tested it, it held, and that's why you got a rally off that little pivot. And now you break over those highs, chances are you're going over the top of the capitulation candle. Oh, baby, the Qs get over 291.60. Then I'd be real shocked if we roll over again. But you get the 291.60, you still want to sell up there. But you break this candle from the 2 o'clock candle, woo, baby. And then you got 291.88. If you're above those 2 candles, I cannot see this market rolling over again. Because you just
I don't
trapped
see it. I don't see it.
Trap. And we're going higher.
I think you're seeing some chop, just preparing for the next dollar up to maybe 396, 386.
Yeah, let me put the spies on because I know you're talking about the spies.
I mean, God, the 387 just went from 92 cents to $1.60 in the last 4 minutes we were talking. So,
right.
And that's the challenge of trying to time this. You got to set stops. Now you got a big move down. Somebody didn't like something that Powell said.
You see what I'm saying? No matter how bullish you might be, you're still selling to that move. Now that was gross. That was a nasty little move. Probably stopped a bunch of people out. And with all this chop, that's why when it does resolve itself, you get the shorts who have to cover and the longs who got out of something, they get all pissed off and they buy back. Shorts who didn't cover, they're forced to cover. And look, that one chop, that was a stop hunter. Look how it went underneath everything. Even got you almost out of the VWAP. You didn't break that prior candle. So let's go back and let me show you what. Now you're starting to see the most important couple of candles. This one. That's 288.39. You just hit it right there. What is that? 288.39. And where we broke out from is this candle, right? So that would be 280. Sorry, let me give you the exact price. 288.15. So if I was in the Qs, especially if I got them down here or here or here or here, the only 2 levels I'm concerned about now are those 2 pivots. So the top of that and the bottom of that. And right now is, once again, let me keep saying it, even though this is extremely choppy, it's still bullish. You're seeing the buyers show up on every pullback. The buy on dippers are here. They might not be as excited and as powerful as they were over the last 12 years, but they're here. And when they disappear, you'll know because you'll break down under here and here, and you'll start testing those lows down there. Right now, I missed that move up. I don't mind missing that move up because we're right back to where we were. And just, again, just we're hanging out now. And I got to show you something. Just let me go back to that sober trade. SOBR. I wasn't in the first move. I wasn't in the second move. But knowing how to trade a stock out of a halt is why I bought that break right there. And knowing that this stock probably still is a pump and dump, I bought it at 289. I'm selling at 312, 325, 325. I'm like, hell yeah, I'm selling. And it looked like it was going to go a lot higher. Look where it is now. 275, about to get halted on the downside because it is a pump and dump and it is going to go to 0. But man, they're fun when they get pumped again, right? As long as you know what you're doing,
Mm-hmm.
they're fun. But if you don't know what you're doing, you're that guy, and now the stock's getting halted on the downside, and you're getting that 10Q sent to your house, and you're sure as hell hoping they have a real product. You don't want to be caught in any of these nasty stocks. But let's go back to your SPY and Q. What do you got? What do you guys got?
Well, you're seeing a little bit of movement up. You're up at 385 right now, and you got an hour to go. This is typically where you're heading toward that hour where the institutional capital is going to come back in. So the question now is, if you're going to set a target to the upside for the day and effectively gamble on it, where is it? I'm going to say and again, we had said consolidation shopping for that next move up to 386. Looks like we're about to get that. Do you look at 390 today? Do you look at 389 today? For this to get back to the 390 level, or do you start to speculate to the downside? I mean, this feels very reminiscent of what we saw back in July, where the market gets this buy pattern and squeezes into the end of the day.
Well, the SPYs just did something great. They just broke back above the high, and that was the breakdown price from before, again, at 120 before the Fed meeting. So if you could stay above here, this is what I was saying, I'd be very shocked to not see it test the highs of the candle. So now if you're in the SPYs, you're looking for 387 and a quarter, which I can't imagine you don't get on this move.
Mm-hmm. It's just going. This is the move, right? You have the 235. You have the 235 run, 235 to 237, and now it just wants to squeeze higher. So,
387 and a quarter.
I've stopped out twice trying to trade options around this, so I'm done. I'm just not going to bother with it. But again, like 387.40 now, I'm not going to be stunned if this is a 390 by the end of the day.
There you go. There goes your SPYs, and there goes the highs. So, as I've been saying here, if you haven't been paying attention, this market's bullish. It's bullish. It's bullish. It's bullish. You just got to wait. You got to wait. Let the market breathe. It never broke down. Let the market breathe.
Yep.
It never broke down. If it consistently doesn't break down, the shorts can't take the pain. And if the shorts can't take the pain, they start covering. When they start covering, the real rally begins. That's why, my new friends, you got to understand what's going on in the short's mind. And that's where I come in. I am a shorter. I know when they're going to be victimized because I have been a victim of the Fed my whole life. No more. Now I won't be victimized because I only trade price and I don't care about the commentary. Commentary's done. I'm just trading the motion of the ocean now, and it's been bullish since the capitulation. And you started making higher lows on every pullback. Higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low. You got nowhere to go but up. And then you break the highs of the day, and you're still sitting there wondering, but I thought we were going to crash if they raise interest rates. Didn't you? But you were wrong. And now the market's ripping because you just went to the VWAP, pulled back and held the VWAP, and you just triggered the biggest bull market in the history of mankind right now. And you're loving life because you bought the 290s at $1.65, and now they're $4.50. Wow. You just had to wait for the market to kick in, right?
Mm-hmm.
The chop resolves itself. It resolves itself to the upside. No shame in buying it when it broke the upper channel. No shame in buying it. Anybody unhappy about buying the Qs now? You didn't get the bottom of the day or the midpoint. You sure as hell loving that 288 now, right? 288. Where's my guy? 288. He knows what I'm talking about. He's all loaded up at 288. My man, 290s coming in at 443 now. They were just $1.20. Woo! Now again, I'm all about the stock. If you're in the stock, what are you doing up here? If you haven't sold any Qs yet, I know where you live. I'm coming for you. Sell. Sell up here, my friends. Anything above 292 is a sell.
It's just going.
We're at 293 and change. You sell up here, and now you put your stop at that last breakout candle. If you're in the Qs, 292.87 and 291.84 are your stops. And if it breaks 294, you raise them up. But right now, you better be selling up here. Come on. How you like me now? Little patience. By the way, look at Veru over $11. Even that stock rallied off the lows of the day. What a garbage that stock turned out to be. Anyway, beautiful trading. Look at the big picture. And when you're in doubt, zoom out. When in doubt, zoom out. And you'll start seeing your ass cracks, your capitulation candles. This guy's already up. If you're not up $1 million right now, I don't want to even have this conversation. Shut up. It's probably up 400.
Now we're starting to peel down a little bit. So do you get that?
I'm a seller. If you're still in the Qs, you have to give up the rest.
Yep.
If it breaks back above the major breakout right there. I don't care what you're thinking about for the rest of the day. You have to be a seller here because you don't want it breaking back below prices where it broke out from. So right there, I'd be selling. Now I'd be done. No, I was done a while ago because I sold into the move prematurely, but now I'd be done. Now I could wait for it to come back maybe. Maybe it tests that level where it broke out from, or we might have just got stopped out at a bad price. But nobody should be unhappy now. You got paid. All right? You got paid. Beautiful trade. You got paid. No one's going to sell it all up there. But when you got towards the whole number, you sell. You put stops on. You sell some here. And now you sold the rest there. La-di-da. And we still got an hour and 20 minutes to go. Maybe we do find another opportunity. You guys all right? That was good trading. That was well telegraphed trading. Staying bullish, not being afraid, seeing the levels, seeing the breakout, seeing the pullback to the VWAP, seeing how significant that moment was.
Now we're dumping.
You had a 1 minute multi-day VWAP collision. Breaking that when the multi-day and the 1 minute are together, that's a major wall. And if you break through that, you better go that way. And then it tested it just for good measure. Here, if you didn't buy the first move, here, we're coming back to test the strength. You're okay now? Everybody feeling better now? Okay, good. Now's your next chance to buy it. Buy, and then sell up here. And here we are right smack dab where it kind of got started. Welcome to active trading, navigated by price alone. The Fed's the catalyst.
We are really starting to roll over now.
That was pretty awesome. Very awesome. I know I'm the greatest. Thank you for listening to what I told you to do. I don't know. I'm going to go play paddleball. Carl's in. Carl, we're going to play paddleball? I'm down, Carl. Guys, 87 years old. If I can move like Carl when I'm 87, that's really what I care about. They want to give me a shot in the back. Anybody take a shot in the back? I'm a 50-year-old guy. I shouldn't be getting cortisone shots in the back at this age. But that's what they want to do to me. I'm scared. They
won't let me have surgery. I don't know why. He said the word recession. Wow.
What?
He said the word recession. Why'd he say that? Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't say that, J. Powell.
Wowie.
It's not good for anybody.
Wowie. Wow. It's crazy. You sell into the move. You have no fear now. Look, and that is the typical trade, my friends. And now you're seeing it in all of its glory. The double ass crack VWAP break. It's the best trade. And then that one little test right there to confirm the strength. Woo, baby.
Mm-hmm.
Sell into the move, get stopped out on the way down. Now what do you want to do? So what do you say? He says it definitely having a recession. What do you say now?
I don't know. I haven't listened to him speak yet.
Okay. But let me tell you something else, my friends.
Dollar Bill had a good day. That's good. Nice. Detroit Rich is saying he's up $4,000.
There you go, Detroit Rich. My guy's up 189 right now. And that's 189,000. Have a nice day. That's a nice day. Anybody here make $100,000 in a day? It's been a while.
Ziggy's made $1,500 since we've been here.
There you go. And look, Look, I mean, I'm pretty proud of the QQQ trade that I was doing, but let me talk about sober for a second. Ooh,
We're
baby,
doing this again.
look at that trade. Look at that.
Oh my God.
Woo! Easy come, easy go, easy go, easy come. And now, my God, I'm actually thinking about doing it again, but
It may. It might.
I don't want to go.
All right. What do we got? Let me
Let's go
see
back
what
to
kind of
SPY.
any data that's come in. Hold up. Visa. Look at Visa. Good Lord.
Oh, ooh. You know, there was a big fun talking about how they were getting out of their Visa and buying more PayPal. I don't agree. I would never sell Visa. It's as close to monopoly as you can get. PayPal. Oh yeah, look at that. Beautiful. Faux show, bro. I mean, every chart's going to be similar now when we're looking at them now. But take a look at that. Fake out, shake out, breakout. And again,
Take a
breaks
look at
the
momentum
VWAP,
real quick.
comes back, and then there's the real rally. So
Momentum
let's go
is
back.
negative. Sell-off lasted a solid 5 minutes. Really nailed it, didn't he? Thanks, bud. Thanks, pal.
Yeah, look at that. He came back to the breakout
450 points swing on the Dow in the last half hour. That was fun.
Wow. By the way, I promised you guys I would talk about the DWAC credit call spread. We'll talk about it tomorrow night. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I want to invite everybody to a party, my house. Not literally my house, but my house. If you haven't sent me an email, do it now. If you haven't met me, tomorrow night I do an event. Me, 8 Ball Solid, we have a few drinks, we talk about what's going on, and we plot our attack on options. And it's a hootenanny. It's a good time. And you're all invited. Normally I don't invite everybody, but you're all invited because this is a special one. This is the Fed-induced possible rally of a century. Who the hell knows what's going to happen on Friday, but you better be prepared. And those Thursday nights, we put on some music. We're probably going to go with some Dead show from 6 to about 7:30, or maybe 2 hours of Dead. I come on, Solid comes on, 8 Ball comes on, and we're just schmoozing. We're just hanging out, talking shop, and it's a great way to get to know us a little bit more. Plus, we're giving some good ideas, and some of the schmooze ideas have been the Sava, the Varu, where we had that 60 bagger, and I'm talking about it was a 6,000% return on a Varu trade. But I will post all that stuff in the room tomorrow. Don't get all frantic if you don't know the password. I will make sure you can figure it out. It's just a couple of clicks of a button and typing in your password. And the running joke is if you can't figure that out, you probably shouldn't be trading. So,
all right,
man,
Kenny,
look
one thing, one reason why I might, hello, Mr. Spy. One reason why I might actually start to get a little bullish, right?
You should be.
Guys, so and I mean in general. So you got 425 effectively now priced in by the end of the year. But go all the way out to next December. This is the market saying that we're going to still be at 4% next year.
Right.
That says to me that now you're in this position where if things really start to get bad economically, that the Fed hints that lower rate hikes may come. Look, you're already pricing in 75 in November, and you're starting to price in 75 in December. This wasn't here about 48 hours ago. So that's a 50-point move by the end of the year. So the market's already showing what the expectations are. So we get a little bit more of this. I don't know if capitulation is going to come if this keeps up. You might just have this choppy period where the people who are oversold finally decide to give up rather than we have this big dump.
Yeah. I mean, when you show in that chart, so you just said 2 more rate hikes are already priced in? I didn't know they were doing anything. I thought we were. Don't we wait till December now? And where is it?
November.
September.
So the November probability, the S&P 500 futures have priced in 71% probability of another 75 points, and December another 50 points.
Now go back to think about next year? Because what I've read, and I don't do much reading about the market, I read that there's an idea that after we're done raising, we'll see how that goes, and then there's a really good possibility of them cutting rates again.
Correct.
So that's factored into.
So
what
that's
you're looking
you can
at?
see that in this chart. So this is December of next year. You can see there's a 0.3% probability that we cut down to 3, a 1.9 that we cut down to 3.5, a 7.5 that we cut down to 3.5, and then really a 25% probability that we cut by 25 basis points. So this is what we're watching. This is predicting a cut right here.
Interesting.
So you're right. But what we want to see is those cuts disappear, those odds disappear, and then that's honestly the better time to start thinking really long term in the market. But we don't really do that here. We think about what's going to happen in the next 3 minutes, and then Voz is going to be on for trade the close.
Right, and talk about imbalances. So the first thing that Voz said, and she got bullish before any of us, she saw a buy program in the SPYs. And what does that mean? It's kind of a combination of what an imbalance is. A lot of times, because we're so algorithmic now, that the computers spit out these numbers called imbalances, and they're telling you there's a lot more people out there looking to buy. That's the buy imbalance. So when you see momentum shifting, a buy imbalance, and a buy program, just join in. That's all we're doing. We're piggybacking the bigger move. And Voz was nailing it. I was nailing it down there when I saw that capitulation. And obviously, we got paid on the upside. And now the question is, where do we go from here? You're seeing it. If you don't see it, let me show you what you're looking at. The pullback again held the prior breakout. So even though that little wick gap below it, you've consolidated again at a higher level, still bullish. So now think about the idiot brethren of mine, the shorters. We're in trouble now. We don't want to give up. The shorts never want to give up. We're very stubborn and we're dumb when it comes to that. We're very stubborn. We let our stubbornness and our desire to crush everything get in the way of what's blatantly happening. What we're late to the party to cover, we only cover when we're forced to cover. So now, again, I've learned my lesson the hard way. I will not let stocks go even back below above the VWAP without covering. If we start breaking new highs, whoever's left that haven't covered, they're going to start covering. And we could power our way into the close, and it could be just a monster move. And I'm talking about at least 4 more points on the Qs, because that's where we petered out last time, around 296. So if you think this move is over, come on. We've seen 16, 17, 20-point moves on the Qs during the squeeze. So if we start lifting off into the end of the day, now you start thinking lotto play, like a 290. No, it's not even a lotto play. I was going to say the 295 if it's under 20 cents. That's not a crazy idea.
Yep. All right, everybody. It is Kenny. It's 3:00. We gotta wrap it up. We went longer than what expected were. But listen, everybody, you can call in right now. Get 6 months of Voz with with my annual subscription. 6 months of world's biggest trade. So take advantage of that. We're doing that now. Yes, says Josh. And there goes the SPY back above 388. We're going to have a wild close. That's why we got to give it up over to Voz for trade the close right now. Kenny, great work as always. Throw some dollar signs in for Kenny, guys. We'll be doing this again in 3 weeks. When the Federal Reserve releases minutes, it's going to be a wild fall. Let's get into it. Have a great day, everybody. Right. Thanks again.
All right. Good luck. I hope you navigated that well with us. My friends, I'll see you tomorrow. That was nice. I was actually less choppy than